Well, thanks a lot, Sin. It's also great to be here as well. I told Sin I woke up at 4:30 today and had some extra coffee so I could keep up with her and all of you. So we're definitely ready to go. It's a pleasure to be with you to help co-host and moderate this forum, and I want to thank Tony for giving me the opportunity. I think certainly in the 6 years I've been in North Carolina, everyone in this state, and I think everyone in this room agrees, education is an essential component in North Carolina's economic future. Our ability to compete on a national and global level, education is one of our chamber's three key pillars for a strong future. Having education and workforce development systems that are effective, agile, accountable, and continually producing a competitive world-class workforce has been the key to our present success and vital to our future success. The partnership between education and the business community is critical, has been and will be, to achieving that goal. And actually, there's no debate on that subject. As I travel the state, I've yet to meet 600 meetings a year, meeting with business leaders, not a single person that says, I don't agree with that. So I'm going to say it's 100% agreement. But I want to kind of paint a little different picture for you too, just to set the tone for today's meeting, because I think there's three numbers that I think about when I wake up every day, and I want to share these with you. The first is 2.7 billion. The second is 300,000, and the third is 300. 300,000 is the number of jobs our state has lost since this downturn began in 2008. 300, believe it or not, is the number of net new jobs we've created for the decade that ended in 2010. And as our Secretary of Commerce knows, 2.7 billion is the number that businesses in this state owe the federal government in unemployment taxes. So we've dug ourselves a pretty big hole. So part of the picture I think we're trying to paint for you today is we're facing challenging times. And I think it's in that context that your Vision 2015 project comes to the table. And many of you in business have faced and are facing challenging times, and you've dealt with these issues before, and you're helping us deal with them today. In fact, the Pew Center for the States indicates that there's 34 state budgets, 34 states just like ours around the country, that are spending at or below what they were spending in 2008. Again, I think it paints a picture of where not only North Carolina is, but where this country is in relationship to this downturn. I can't think of a more important time for this group to be getting together to talk about the future, and there's probably not a more important moment where we need to collaborate, innovate, do things better, do things different, do things more effectively. Not to put more pressure on you, but we're counting on you. And with our help behind you, we know you'll help make North Carolina successful. Working together, we think we definitely can improve our outcomes, raise our standards, and it's not something we like to do, we simply have to. And I know you bring that urgency to the table as well. The Chamber is proud to partner with the New Schools Project to increase the public-private partnership between business and education. Probably most of us, in fact everyone in this room, has children or grandchildren in school. I actually have a 2-year-old granddaughter now, and she's not in school yet, but she will be. The business community cares about our schools. In fact, they always have. Someone reminded me, and just about where we're standing today, when the Research Triangle Park was founded, was about the time, 60 years ago, this is one of the poorest states in America. And it's hard for many of us to think about that, because I've only lived here a short time. But to think our schools were among the worst in the country, and now we're in a place, in a state, where they're among the best. We have a lot to be proud of, but I think the urgency, I would suggest to you, that we felt 60 years ago is probably the same urgency we need to bring to this task today. You're talking about your Vision 2015. I would suggest to you 2015 is already here. And we need your help to make sure we get there at speed. I'm excited to be part of this forward-thinking dynamic group. In fact, most of my time on this topic is spent with this group. To me, I think it's one of the more exciting parts of my job, and I really appreciate the urgency this group brings to that work. I want to introduce our presenters today, and their bios I think are in your program. First, we're going to hear from Dr. Robert Buechner, Bob. He's the Director of STEM Education Initiatives at NC State. Our Secretary of Commerce is here, Keith Crisco. Keith has two individuals shadowing him today, which it probably takes two of them to keep up with him today. He's an important asset to our state and has been a dynamic leader around the world, helping to bring jobs to our state, and we appreciate your efforts. Nancy Hoffman, Vice President and Senior Advisor at Jobs for the Future in Boston. Joanne Honeycutt, Director of Career and Technical Education at the Department of Public Instruction. Maureen Little, Associate Vice President of Customized Training at the Community College System. Bill Taylor, Associate Vice President for Network Engagement and Growth at the National Academy Foundation in New York City. Joining Sid and me with our panel of experts who will react to our presenters, Jeff Corbett, who is Senior Vice President of Progress Energy, Billy Ray Hall, President of the North Carolina Rural Center, Andrea Harris, President of the North Carolina Institute for Minority Economic Development, Dr. Scott Rawls, President of North Carolina Community College System, Pam Townsend, Vice President of AECOM Transportation, and Steve Yost, President of North Carolina's Southeast Region. Now it's a pleasure for me to turn it over to your leadership team. Bob Gretchen, your Chair of Vision 2015 and Chair-elect of this board. Bob is also a recent past member of our Executive Committee of the North Carolina Chamber, and most of you know CEO Emeritus of Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, the state's largest health insurer. And we're also going to hear from Tony Habit. I don't know how you feel, but I think Tony's one of our state's secret weapons. He's a secret weapon that we're deploying to help our state win the future. And with your help, we will. With more than 20 years' experience in public school innovation and reform, Tony has served as president of the North Carolina New Schools Project since it was created in 2003. So, Tony and Bob, take it away.